Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today is tarot time. We've got a 16 win streak going on the gold stakes. This includes one full rotation, all 15 decks. We are looping back around to my favorite deck, the Zodiac Deck. The Ghost Deck is, I would say, a close second. The Ghost Deck produces kind of interesting runs with the extra spectral cards, though I really like having overstock on the Zodiac Deck. Here we can go for some hearts. We can try one more time to get better hearts. Just like that. Ship it. Okay. Here, probably we don't want the Baron. Also, we can't afford the Baron. Here, Eternal Rental, we probably don't want on a common Joker, though maybe there exists some Eternal Rental where I would be willing to take it, like Trading Card, for example. And then Pluto cards just don't do enough for me to spend the $3 on it. We can take a Buffoon pack here. We probably don't need the blank voucher. Not this early anyway. Your choice, Rental Faceless Joker or Mail-in Rebate. Yum. So I can discard the 7 here. I can go for the clubs. I can discard another 7 and go for diamonds. Or I can do the 2 pair with the 6s and 10s, or 6s and kings. If I do 6s and kings here, I think that's low enough it doesn't actually win. Then we can save a discard for the 7s. I need another king or another 8 for a straight. I could go for the hearts. One more time for hearts. Ah, bummer. We did end up getting the straight. We got the king. We can do 2 pair queens and 9s. Nice. Okay, now we got 20 bucks, so we can take a hermit. We can take an emperor. Death. So if I use the devil, we can copy it. We could go Arcana here. Temperance gives me 2 bucks. Probably I could make extra clubs here if I was thinking ahead and trying to make some kind of flush house happen. Boss here says my previously played cards are going to be debuffed. So maybe that could be an issue. Okay, I like the idea of making queens and a 10 into clubs. My rebate is on queens. Maybe I don't want to do that anymore. Because the queens I want to discard probably. Yeah, how about 10, 7, and 3? Let's make them into clubs. And then I can use death to make a flush house possibly. So, admittedly, we don't have any jokers here. One way I could use the death card is I could try to make a 4 of a kind. Here's a common misconception about the Zodiac Deck. Zodiac Deck, you have Tarot Merchant and you have Planet Merchant. So, extra Tarot cards in the shop, extra Planet cards in the shop. So, people will look at this and say, okay, well, does that mean I'm going to get less jokers? Well, yes, if you didn't have overstock, these two would of course give you less jokers if you have more tarot cards and planet cards instead. But because we have overstock, because we have this combination, all 3 of these together, it works out that you get about the same number of jokers that you would normally get if you didn't have all 3 of these, if you weren't playing on the Zodiac Deck. It is actually slightly more. Normally, when you're not playing on the Zodiac Deck, you have about 1.4 jokers on average per shop reroll. If you have overstock plus these 2, it works out to something like 1.5 jokers on average. So the way that I think about it is you get about the same number of jokers as you normally would, but then the extra slot is going to be pretty good chance of being an extra tarot card or a planet card. So the Zodiac deck is not as easy as the yellow deck. Yellow deck where you have the extra starting money. That can be very powerful, that can be very useful. Makes the yellow deck one of the higher win rate decks. The Zodiac deck, your success is going to depend on your ability to kind of identify how to strategically use those extra consumable cards, how to strategically purchase tarot cards and save them for the right moment, purchasing the planet cards at the appropriate moment, stuff like that. Anyway, of course, here we've got the mail-in rebate, we've got Hermit already, so should be pretty easy. As long as I can pass this round, then we can't lose. There is a consideration for taking the Celestial Pack there, getting a planet card as a way of scoring, as a way of beating the boss, but because I have Death specifically, I know I can win without help, basically. Any 3 of a kind becomes 4 of a kind, and then you win. Alright, we have a pair of 8s. I could try to leverage the pair of 8s into 4 of a kind 8s. Maybe. I think I want to... I have 2 queens that are debuffed, so maybe I don't care so much about saving my discards. Maybe we can discard once. Okay, I have the 8s, so I would like to try to find a queen if possible. I guess I could try to find another 8. Alright, let's go one more. Queen is worth $5 if we find it. There's the queen. Okay. Now, with the 8s here, here's what I'm thinking. Against this particular boss, if you use the devil, you can remove the debuff. And then, this being the 8 of clubs, since we made the extra clubs, 10 of clubs, and 3s of clubs, 7s of clubs, let's copy this, make another 8 of clubs. Now, in the short term, we can play the 4 of a kind, and then in the long term, maybe we keep playing 4 of a kind, or maybe we play flush houses. When I am playing on the Zodiac deck, I think about how can I play the higher ranking hands? How can I use the extra tarot cards in order to build the deck that I want? Okay, Vampire seems pretty good on the Zodiac deck where we have the extra tarot cards. Though maybe there is a concern now of, hey, I don't know if I'm actually going to have 1,000 points. Maybe the way that I try to get 1,000 points is with the Celestial Pack, except I don't have a Celestial Pack offered to me. So we definitely take the Vampire. We probably want the Mars card. Though, if we take it, it's probably going to cost us interest. If we level up to 4 of a kind, we're not really going to be able to play 4 of a kind. I guess what I'm looking for tarot card wise, I'm looking for strength, I'm looking for death. Maybe with 22 different tarot cards, the odds of that happening are not super high. Vampire is good late game, but maybe doesn't do a whole lot for us right now. Actually, it kind of hurts us right now. Like if we get the Empress tarot card, you can create some plus molt cards, except the Vampire will suck them off and then you're not going to get as many points. So I guess let's not take the Mars card. The Giga Chad is pretty good with enhanced cards. You can retrigger molt cards, you can retrigger bonus cards from the Hierophant. Maybe not as good with the Vampire, but maybe not useless. I think the best case for the Chad is probably a gold seal. We don't really have that technology. So we can take Crafty. Crafty turns what would be a, let's say, 300 point flush turns into a 600 point flush with Crafty Joker. So we can get 1,000 points with 2 flushes. So if I wanted to, I could just stop here and save my money. Go next. Okay, all we got to do is find 2 flushes. We got rebate on 6s. Here's flush number 1. We do have a few extra clubs, but maybe that's not super reliable necessarily. Okay, I have the hearts here. Okay, I know the hearts win, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig for either 6s for the mail-in rebate, or we've got a gold 8 that gives us money. Now only 2 cards. I think we just ship it. There is a telescope in the shop, so there is some incentive for not spamming high card too much. Okay, Fist is great. We've got another moon. Okay, I have a little bit of leftover money. I could take an Arcana pack, or we could take a blue Joker. I think blue Joker plus Fist, you're gonna have a pretty easy time scoring. So let's do that, and then that way we're chilling. Now you actually don't need Crafty Joker. Maybe we keep Crafty Joker. Okay, I can take the Arcana pack because the rebate will give me $5. Even if the rebate doesn't give me $5, this isn't going to cost me any interest. Alright, Fool gives me a Death card. That's another thing you want to be careful of. Because you get more tarot cards on the Zodiac deck, you want to manage the Fool properly. The order in which you play your cards matters. Yeah, we take a Death card for sure. And go next. So with the Death card, what I was going to say is I'm looking for the 8 so that I can copy the 8, like this 8 right here. With the moon, probably want to use it on more 7s and 8s. And then maybe, I don't know, a 3 or a 10, something like that. Rebate on 2, so we're going to discard this 2. I believe we already got rid of 1, 2. So discard the 2. I'm going to keep the 7 and the 8 for me to use the moon. And because I have Fist plus Blue Joker, I actually don't need a flush here. So we just discard whatever, doesn't matter. If we play the pair here, it's too many points. So maybe... Actually, this is a good opportunity here. I could do the moon on an 8, 7, and a 3. Could help us with the flush house in the future. And now that I've gotten rid of that, I think... can I get away with this? If I play this pair, we only get 6 molt from the Fist. 6 molt plus the Blue Joker, is that going to be not too many points? Hopefully. Cool. We don't get to do another one of those. It would be too much. So one thing I could do, I could use the Death card on the 8 right now and unlock the flush house right now. The advantage of unlocking the flush house right now is the planet cards will show up in the shop. Since we have the planet merchant, maybe we want to unlock the planet cards. The disadvantage of this is we lose the gold card to the vampire. I think that's probably fine. So let's discard first, just in case. So I'm looking here for one more. I'm looking for the 3 of clubs, basically. We got an extra 8. I can use that for money. So use Death here and play the flush house. Ship it. All right. Now we're cooking. Okay. Probably want the telescope. Telescope is going to give us Jupiter cards for the short term. I could take the Arcana pack first. We get another moon card. So do we want to enable getting more flushes? If I didn't have the vampire, I would actually use the magician for the lucky cards for the money, but because we have the vampire, I think I will use the moon here. And if I am going to use the moon, then let's put it on the 8s here. Help with that flush house. And I don't know, maybe a jack. I can turn these 10s into jacks maybe. Alright, now we're chilling. Go next. Boss gonna discard random cards. Rebate on 3s. So the fist wins if you just want to play a high card, or if you just want to play a pair. The fist plus blue joker wins. Let's try to draw the 3s. Let's try to draw the flush. Okay, we got a gold card. Yeah, give me another gold card. Okay, so I guess kind of a fun thing about the hook boss here. Discards 2 random cards. If it does discard the 3, we get money. Though maybe I don't want the gold card to be discarded, right? I don't know, I'm conflicted here. How about let's play the pair? Ship it. Just like we drew it up. Alright, mail-in rebate's done. It's a common, so I'm going to sell it. That way we have a chance of getting another mail-in rebate. We can get the grabber for an extra hand. Hierophant for the vampire. Sure. Go Celestial Pack for Jupiter. Alright, Fist is perishable. Blue Joker is perishable. I don't think I need the Fortune Teller as a rental. I think with the Telescope and the Vampire we'll be fine. We don't need to take halvesies here. We can take a Celestial Pack for another Jupiter card. And go next. Alright, so here all I'm trying to do is find a flush. That's it. One more time. Alright, let's use the Hierophant so the vampire can suck them off. Okay, the flush wins the next round. We could take the devil for a gold card. I like spinning the wheel, but maybe if I have the 2 perishables, maybe I don't want to do that. Let's go Arcana. Okay, we've got the Hermit for 20 bucks. Sure. So, using strength, let's say turning a 10 into a jack, or a 9 into a 10, or something like that, even just a king into an ace. Using strength could potentially help us make flush houses, but if you take the 20 bucks, you can re-roll, and with Overstock, we get to re-roll, let's say 3 times. 20 bucks is 3 re-rolls. We get to see 9 cards. So a pretty good chance we could find some other different things potentially better than strength. Potentially Joker-wise we're looking for. I think with the devil here, I will use it on the 8. So obviously if we want to play the flush house, we want to play the 8s rather than keep the 8s in our hand. But I don't actually need to play the flush house anymore. I just need to unlock it, and then we can find the planet cards in the shop. So we use devil first, then hermit second, in case there's a fool in this Arcana pack. Before I open this Arcana pack, I could re-roll now that I have the money. So I can use another devil card. I can take hallucination as another really great tarot card generator. So now let's go Arcana. Alright, we got another hermit. So I guess I want to go more gold on the clubs. Use the Emperor. World and Star I don't care about, so let's go hermit. What was the boss? The boss says play 5 cards. That's okay. Alright, now we've gotten 40 bucks in this one shop. So we could reroll a lot, but typically what we try to do is reroll not too much so we can spread out our money between different shops, because you're not going to get 40 bucks every round. We just happen to get 40 bucks this round. Do a little reroll here. Okay, maybe we just get another bunch of money here. Hung Man is great. Now that I got the Hermit, we could definitely go one more. Take a series card. Scholar as an Eternals, very bad. We could take a free roll here if we sell one of our Jokers. I'd be willing to sell the Hallucination to take a free roll here. Is that true? Hallucination I can hold on to for a long time, whereas the Clown here we can hold on for a short time because it's a rental. Though if I take it now, it's worth $9, which is kind of a lot. I think because I have so much money, I think the Clown is actually worth the rental fee. Also, we have Overstock. Let's do it. Go one more. Okay, so Magician here for the Vampire, or we can use Strength to build our deck. I think I'm going to use the Magician here. So the way that I'm going to build my flush houses is not with Strength, but with Death cards. That's the plan, actually. And if we use the Magician to power up the Vampire, we can survive with flushes longer before we are forced to play the flush house later. That's the plan. Okay, now that I have 2 tarot cards that I actually care about using, I'm not going to reroll, because if I reroll into some other different tarot card, I'm going to have to swap it out. Let's go next. So basically, anything that's not clubs, we just hang it. We discard looking for clubs. Okay. A little bit short on the clubs. That's okay. Alright. Let's go Magician. Alright, I want to play this flush. We said the Clown is worth it. It's worth the rental fee. One more round on the fist, one more round on the blue Joker. Okay, Empress for the Vampire is okay. Rental Smiley Face is pretty bad. We can go Mega Standard Pack. Okay, Foil 9. I think no clubs and no 8s, so I'm just gonna skip here. I'm looking for seals, gold seals and blue seals, possibly a purple seal. Before you open the Celestial Pack, we do have the Telescope. Do I want to try to get a series card? No, that's fine. Let's just take the Jupiter card. So here's another thing about trying to pivot into flush houses. Flush house scores a crazy amount of points, so it doesn't need to be very high leveled. If you're offered Jupiter and series, you should take the Jupiter cards, because we need the Jupiter cards early on, because I can't actually play the flush house yet. Well, maybe I could, but not consistently enough. So we take a free roll here. I think I'm pretty likely, as I'm re-rolling here, to replace the Clown. So I will sell it and take a Hermit. Magician for the Vampire is okay. Go one more. Neptune and Earth, we could take a Swashbuckler as an Eternal. We definitely have the money, we could do better. We got a nice amount of money, we could reroll and get better. We could get an extra discard here. Yeah. Okay, once again, I have 2 tarot cards that I feel comfortable with, so let's go next. Okay. Acknowledging that we have the extra discard, I will throw away some clubs, because I know I can get more clubs. Now that I already have 2 gold cards, I'm not going to discard as aggressively. Okay, so I need one more club here. If I get a club in the next 3 cards, I get $3 extra from the gold card. Sure. Go one more. Okay, so let's go Empress and Magician. And ship it. Okay, my Jimbos are disabled. That's okay. Got a series card here. Clearance sale. So, some consideration for clearance sale. If you do take it, it reduces the sell value of your jokers. It makes your temperances bad. So right now everything sells for 2. If we reduce the price, it rounds down and then it changes all the prices to 1. So basically it makes my temperances $5 less. Though if I do see a temperance, it's currently like 11 bucks or something like that. I'm not even convinced I would take an $11 temperance. So maybe it's fine. We take the clearance sale. And then that gives us a discount on, we could take series. We have the telescope for Jupiter card here. Hold on to death. Before we open the Arcana pack, what I like to do is I like to reroll for tarot cards first, and then that way I have tarot cards. I can use them inside the Arcana pack, and after I use them, I have empty consumable slots. I can reroll for more tarot cards to hold on to and then take into the next round. So let's go one more. Could take a Chariot card, could take a Priestess. I think Chariot is fine. I can use the Chariot and then copy with Death. This is part of why the Nebula deck sucks so bad. Having the -1 consumable slot, you don't get to do these combos with the tarot cards. I have a Fool for Jupiter. Fool for Death is best. So let's make another 8 of clubs. Okay, make a Steel card here. And then use Fool to get a Death card. Okay, we've got $6. Do I need this Droll Joker? So without the help of the Fist, without the help of the blue Joker, I think actually it's going to take us 2 flushes to win. Is that okay? Are we okay with using 2 hands? Probably, because we have enough clubs now. We can reliably play 2 flushes. So let's just go one more. We get a Jupiter card. We could take this Photograph. Photograph is good with the flush house because you have a high base mult. Double it with the Photograph. I would need to do a little bit deck building work. I would need to turn my 10s into jacks, which we already talked about, which maybe is something that I want to do anyway. So let's do it. And I will also take the misprint because I have no reason not to. We could go one more, $7. That's not that expensive. I have an empty tarot card slot. We could take the Card Shark here. Card Shark pretty good, where we can play 2 flushes every round and that will guarantee win. Let's not play 2 flushes. Let's just go 1 flush. We have the Vampire already for X-Molt, so let's go next. We already rerolled 3 times, so I'm going to save my money for rerolling in the next shop. Now, I think with Death, my target is going to be probably make more jacks for the Photograph. Alright, here I want to find a jack. We have a jack. Okay. Now I want to find my gold cards. I'm going to throw away the Steel card because I don't want the Vampire to suck them off. Well, maybe that's fine. Maybe we discard the 9 here. Okay, we got a gold card. We actually got an abundance of 8s. Okay, so I want to use Death. I could discard one more. I could discard 2 more. There we go. So let's turn a 5 into a jack. This is what the flush house looks like if you were curious. Ship it. Only 40,000. We got a little bit of work to do. Alright, we could use a Jupiter card. Celestial Pack gives me another Jupiter card from the telescope. We could pick up a Midas Mask. Yeah, I guess. Alright, if I have the photograph, I probably don't need this misprint. Okay. I do need more face cards though. Could take the Family here. We could play the flush 5. Not yet. Tower is okay with the vampire, I guess. We could do better. Let's go Arcana. So Temperance here for $8. We could use Death. I like the idea of going Death on the face card. So instead of taking a Temperance here, Temperance, which we lost $5 from the, what is it, the voucher, the clearance sale voucher. We said, okay, well that's fine because I probably wouldn't take a Temperance anyway. There's probably better things that I could do with instead of $10 anyway, like a Death card here, for example. Make more face cards for the Midas Mask. Let's go next. Okay, I have a flush, which probably wins actually. Maybe what I'm looking for right now, trying to get more face cards at the same time. Yeah. Alright. Let's just discard all the clubs. We have plenty of clubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I okay with losing the steel card here? Yeah, that's fine. So the order of operations here, I want to do Vampire first and then Midas Mask second, so that I end with gold cards. I get to take the gold cards and use them later for money. The disadvantage is we don't score as many points this round because the Midas Mask happens second, but the advantage is we get a lot of money later. Seems worth it. So if we look at the collection here, the last card that we used was Death for the Fool. So maybe I could take a Priestess, but I probably don't want to use it right away. In the standard pack here, I'm looking for Seals. There's an 8 of clubs, and you might be thinking, okay, well, 8 of clubs, that sounds like we're trying to do the flush house. Maybe that's compatible with what I'm trying to do. I'm not going to take the 8 here because when I am going for the flush house, I already have enough 8s. I don't need more 8s. All right, with the spectral pack here, we could do a little re-rolling first. I could take a chariot card. Could take a mail-in rebate. Mail-in rebate instead of... Probably I would get rid of Crafty. So currently, what does the Drunkard allow me to do? Drunkard allows me to find my hands. Currently, the problem is not scoring points. Currently, what we want to focus on is being able to draw our hands. Okay, there's Cryptid here. I could use Cryptid to copy a Jack. Because we re-rolled for tarot cards, we were able to get the Chariot card. We can use Cryptid on a Steel Jack instead of just a vanilla Jack. We can also use Priestess here, I guess. Alright. So Cryptid here, do I want more Jacks? Yeah, probably. With the photograph and with the Midas Mask, I probably want more Jacks. Let's drop Crafty. Pick up the mail-in rebate and go next. Alright, so this is going to decrease the level of my hand. Do I want to play the flush house? Do I want to play the flush? I think I want to play the flush. I think that hurts less. Because each planet card for the flush house, the series cards do more than Jupiter cards. So if we lose one, we lose more, basically. We got rebate on kings. I probably want to keep all the face cards. I could probably throw away the gold 8. Okay. So here's some kings I can discard. I can keep the queen for the vampire. Okay. So yeah, I guess I will discard here. Maybe I should discard a jack. I don't want to play the flush house. I just want to play a regular flush. That way the flush gets de-leveled. That's fine. Ship it. Okay, we need another flush. That's okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We take a hit here with the debuff. We could use the steel card for the extra points, but I don't think we need it. Let's just play the flush. Ship it. All right. So with the debuff from the boss, we lost 2 levels on our flush. Next round we can win with 2 flushes, or we can still win with 1 flush house. Okay, boss says base chips and mold have. That's pretty stinky. That's not great. I think now that I have 7 jacks, 5 of them are clubs. I have 7 8s, and all of them are clubs. I think we can get the flush house now. We also have an extra discard. We have an extra hand. So maybe I don't need Jupiter cards anymore, actually. Let's try a buffoon pack. We could probably make the blackboard work, but I don't think we need to. Don't need smiley face, don't need jolly. Hit the road for jacks. I don't think we need that. So here's the thing about playing flush houses. The flush house scores an absurd amount of points. A rewarding amount of points. So we don't actually need jokers to give us points. We just need to play the hand. Or we need to get money. Money which we can use to get tarot cards, and then that helps us play the hand more easily. Alright, take the wheel here, take the Arcana pack. Get a hermit. Alright. Spin the wheel. Foil. Okay, rebate on 4s. That means we can hang the spades. I guess ace and 6 we can hang 10. I could theoretically turn it into a jack, even though that's probably not going to happen. I'll put that out there. That's probably not going to happen. We could take a hermit for 20 bucks. That means we have money we could re-roll once. Could take a spaceman here. Spaceman to give us levels on the flush house. I think that's worse than Drunkard being able to draw our hand. Drunkard also has a combo with rebate here, so no on the spaceman. Go one more. Could take erosion. If we have the photograph, we don't need that. Go one more. Alright, that's it. Go next. Okay, here 2 flushes wins, also flush house wins. Let's go for the flush house. We did it. Okay. Jacks and 8s. I'm just gonna ship it. I guess technically I could discard this. Okay. Ship it. Flush house is 40,000. That is the same hand will one-shot the next round. That's it. Supernova we very much don't need. We could take the Magician for the Vampire. Could take a standard pack for a seal if we had it. Okay. Series card for sure. Don't need a star. We could go one more. Chad doesn't help us. Well, actually, now that we have the photograph, Chad is actually pretty good. So, do we get rid of the rebate money? Do we get rid of the drunkard? I think the safe thing to do is get rid of the rebate and then use the drunkard to get the flush house. Yeah, let's do that. I can use a justice card here in the Arcana pack. Justice card for the vampire. We get the hung man. I guess there's not really that many clubs here for me to play. I'm going to save the magician and the justice card. The fives, we can hang them. And then go next. Okay. All we got to do, find those jacks. One more time for, I need one jack. I have a lot of eights. I could probably throw away an 8. Okay. One more jack. Alright. We missed on the jack. That's okay. I think there's 4 jacks in the deck. If I play 4 at a time, times 4 hands, that's 16 cards. That gives us better than 70% chance to find a jack. Not guaranteed, but pretty good odds. Well, all right. Give me the jack. Anyway, don't you feel good that we got rid of the mail-in rebate and we kept the extra discard just in case? Here, I have a pretty good chance of drawing at least 1 gold card for the extra money. Alright, I can go Justice 1, Magician 2. If we get a Fool card, I would rather copy a Magician. Alright, we can play the Jacks, we can play the 8s, and ship it. Oh, because we have the photograph with the Chad, actually the flush would win. We don't actually have to go for the flush house. It's just more fun that way, right? Also, we do have the telescope. There exists a theoretical future where my flush house is my most played hand. It's possible. Alright. Unfortunately, we played high card too many times, so my celestial packs are going to give me plutonium. But that's okay, we get a series card anyway. We could take the Onyx Agate here, though maybe this is awkward with the photograph because the photograph is going to trigger on your first face card, which the Chad is going to be your first card. So the other 4 cards don't matter for the Onyx Agate. This is actually pretty bad in our current build. We have discounted reroll, so we could go 1 more, take a death card. Alright, now we're invincible. So if we hang the ace and the 3 here, now when we discard, we get to redraw 7. Okay, we got the winning hand. Now what I'm looking for gold cards for money. Though also I'm going to use death to copy a jack. Alright. Ah, bummer. So here actually I want to discard an 8. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's okay. Let's play the king here. I should discard one of these 8s. That's my bad. There we go. This 2, that's what I want. I want something to use death on. There we go. Now, as far as jacks go, now we've got 6 jacks of clubs. We've got the 7 8s of clubs out of 46 cards. All right. Ship it. Okay. We can take a liquidation here. Okay, I just used death, so if I do get a fool, that is the thing that I want to be doing. We can buy these for $1. Could take an 8-ball here, since we have the Chad. I mean, that sounds like a good time. Business time though? That sounds like a good time. Do I need the extra discard? For the money? No, we said it's safer to keep the extra discard. We got rid of the mailing rebate, so maybe we're not supposed to take the business card here. If I reroll, it takes me down to $31, so I'm going to buy these booster packs. Let's go Arcana first in case we get a Fool. We don't get a Fool. We get Chariot or Empress. I'm probably going to use the Empress, maybe. So, order of operations. Let's sell the Judgment. Let's use the Priestess. Get the planet cards, okay. We can use Empress on the 10 because it can turn into a Jack. 7 can turn into an 8, in theory anyway. Now that I have 3 planet cards, we can open a Celestial pack. We don't get Ceres, we don't get Jupiter. Dang. The absolute worst. Take a Mars card instead. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Alright, the planet cards, I guess you can hold on to them and go next. Okay. Jacks and 8s. We got Jacks and 8s. Digging for gold. Okay. Jacks and 8s, ship it. Okay, so there obviously we've got ×4 from the vampire because the vampire is big with the Midas mask. But if we didn't have the ×4, we'd still score 100,000 points. That would still be enough to one-shot here. The vampire is overkill. Unnecessary roughness. Take a series card. There's another Arcana pack, so we do a little re-rolling. There's a Fool. Question, do we use the Fool to copy Ceres, or is there something better that we could do with a Fool? Leveling up the flush house is not terrible. Good enough for me. We can take a Devil here. We could try to get another Fool. We could get Strength, finally. We definitely don't need JJ. Go one more. Sock my Buskin. Boss says play only one hand type, which means if we don't get the hand in the first hand, we lose. So maybe Sock my Buskin is a little bit ambitious. It's a little bit greedy. Let's sell the Drunkard. Alright, I can use my strength now. I can save my strength for 10s and 7s. I can take a Hermit here after making a gold 8. Take a Hermit. $6, we can do a reroll. Golden Ticket. I don't have the Joker slots unless I get rid of the Chad, but the Chad gives me points, so let's go one more. $8, I don't want to spend on a reroll. Let's go next. Here, I can turn 2 7s into 8s. I could save the strength for 10s, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, let's do 1 10 and 1 7 with the strength. Make sure that we get enough face cards. So if you wanted to, we could be growing the vampire faster than we are, and the way that you do that is, okay, I can play high card queen, I can play high card king, I can play a few extra hands. I'm not going to mess around with that because I think it's better to get the telescope on my flush house, if possible. Not that it is possible, but if possible. Actually, maybe that's just not going to happen. Let's play a pair of 9s. Alright, 1, 2, 3. You know what? Here, let's play the pair of kings. We were talking about it. Let's do it. Play the pair of kings. Okay. 2 8s and 3 jacks. Ship it. I'll be honest. Sock and Buskin isn't actually good here. Sock and Buskin is only a ×2. That's it. Because we can't retrigger any glass cards. Alright, we could look in a Buffoon pack, but there's nothing that we would take, except maybe we would take Blueprint. Alright, skip. Hierophant I could use in theory, I guess. If we go to the collection here, the last thing we used was Strength is actually kind of good. Tower, nope. Priestess, maybe. Priestess is actually pretty high value because the series cards are so powerful. There's a series card. Alright, before I take series, I'm gonna go Arcana. I have Death here. So let's make an extra jack. Before I make an extra jack, let's go Hierophant and then copy the jack. If I use the Priestess here, it can't give me series because there's a series in the shop. So I'm gonna go Death. Now go series. What I was hoping for a Fool to give me a Strength card. Is why I didn't take the series right away. Otherwise, we could hold on to these and go next. Alright, we have 2 discards. I have 2 jacks. I have jacks looking for 1 8. We didn't get the flush house. Instead, we have 4 of a kind jacks. Alright, time to go to work. Let's play 4 jacks and a 10, I guess. Ship it. Yum. Okay, crystal ball. Best thing to do with the crystal ball is hold on to the planet cards so that they don't show up anymore. We could hold on to lovers and it won't show up anymore. We can check out what the boss is. The boss says, okay, it's the serpent. The serpent is one of those where if you're trying to get a 5-card hand, this can actually be difficult for you because you throw away 5 but you only redraw 3. It can be kind of awkward. We can take an Empress here. Let's try these Jumbo Arcana packs. So there's a Hierophant. I probably just use the wheel here, right? So I don't know. Go lovers on the 7 and spin the wheel. Ah, never lucky. We get the Hung Man. So we could use Death to get an extra 8. The best thing to do is for us to remove cards, right? We have plenty of 8s, we have plenty of jacks. We just need to stop drawing the bad cards. So maybe get rid of a 3 and get rid of this jack. Hang him. And now we got 25 bucks. Let's go next. Okie dokie. So let's get the jack. 2 jacks and some flavorful 8s. Go ahead and ship it. Okay, Jupiter cards we don't need anymore. We could go Arcana. We could reroll first. If I hold on to Jupiter, there won't be a Jupiter card here. These packs cost me $5, so we can go one more. Alright, Too late for the red card. Let's go Arcana. Fool for a hung man. Nice. So let's get rid of the tower. Take the hung man here. Okay. 6 and king, I can hang them. And then queen and jack, I can use death. Okay. And that's it. Go next. Alright. Jacks and 8s. Okay. 3 jacks, 2 8s. Ship it. If you play the 8s instead of the jacks, you get more money from the gold cards, but if we play the jacks, we get more value on the vampire, which we don't need. We can take these celestial packs. There's justice here. I'm gonna go one more. Okay, let's go temperance for $6, then series. We can hold on to your Venus. We could go one more. Now we see Uranus, so there's 4 planet cards. Celestial pack shows me 3 different ones, like this series. The telescope is still going to give me high cards, still going to give me plutonium. So there's only 2 slots for planet cards here. Mercury, Mars. I could use a Mars card, but the last card I used was Ceres. I'm going to skip here in case we get a Fool. Fool will copy Ceres rather than copying Mars. We can go one more. There's a Ceres card. All my jokers are Eternals. We got Eternal Chad. So, go next. Alright, here we can discard an ace. We can discard a 4. Alright. In order to get the flush house as my most played hand, I need to not play high card for the next 2 rounds, and then we get exactly 1 shop with flush house as our most played hand. So if I wanted to, I could grow the vampire here by playing a flush or just playing high card. Actually, wait, maybe we could figure out like a 2-pair situation. Maybe I play a pair of 4s here for the vampire. And if I play this pair, maybe I can draw more gold, maybe. Yeah, we could figure it out. We can play a pair of kings, right? We can play a pair of jacks. We could play 3 jacks, maybe. Let's play just a pair. Okay, we can play a pair of queens. We can play 2 pair, jacks and queens. There we go. A nice amount of molt on the vampire. Alright, 1, 2, 3 with the 2 8s. Ship it. Alright, 7 times on the vampire. If we didn't have the 7 times, we'd still be able to win with the flush house easily. Okay. We don't need a buffoon pack. We can check out the boss here. Boss says, shuffle me Jimbos. Okay. Before we go Arcana, we do a little re-rolling. Magician, Priestess, nah. Well, maybe Priestess. Maybe. I'm going to hold on to it, go one more. There's a series card. Okay. Golden ticket. No. Arcana. Okay, so temperance gives me $6. I have a strength here, but I don't really have any targets for strength. I could use a moon here, but I don't really have targets for a moon either. I guess sell Jupiter, use the priestess. I could just skip here and not use the priestess. But I guess I will make a flush. Maybe. Go one more. Tower? Nah, go next. So we can discard for an 8. We can play a pair of 7s and try to find an 8. Maybe I don't need this jack, maybe I don't need this king. How are we doing on pairs? Okay. So I can play a pair of queens for the vampire. I could play 2 pair, queens and jacks for the vampire. Okay, I believe we've got the 8s here. Yeah, let's get the jacks. So 3 jacks, 2 8s. Suck off all my jacks. Go ahead and ship it. Alright, we could go series here. We could go Emperor first. Let's go Emperor first. Temperance. Let's go Temperance first and then series in case we get a fool. We could look inside these standard packs. I would take a polychrome card. Gold Seal 9 is not going to happen. What about a Blue Seal 5? We probably don't need at this point. Should have taken the Jupiter card. Alright, let's pick up a Priestess. Go one more. Nope, alright. Use the Priestess. Hold on to the planets. Go next. Alright. I can play a pair of queens. I can discard for another jack. I can actually play king as a high card once. We can get away with it once. We can play the jacks and the 8s. We can discard the 4. Alright. Jacks and 8s, ship it. Justice. No justice. Let's go Arcana. Let's reroll first. Could get a bust. It's polychrome. I want death. Go one more. Get a hung man. Alright, I have the 2 best tarot cards, so let's open the Arcana pack now. We can get an Emperor. So death, I guess, on the 8. The 3 and the 6, we can hang them. We can use Emperor. Bummer. Go one more. There's another Emperor. Get another hung man. Okay. Mars. $7 reroll. Sure. Then the Arcana pack. Temperance gives me $6. Gotten a lot of $6 temperances. Discounted, of course, because of the discount voucher. 50% off my temperances. Bummer. Yeah, 5 and 4, we just hang them. I could make some bonus cards on the 8s, and then that makes my vampire better later, I guess. We can spin the wheel. Let's make the bonus 8s. Go one more. Strength. Okay. Go one more for a series card. Alright, that's it. 8.8 on the vampire. Shuffle me Jimbos. Alright. Strength, I want. Play the pair of queens. Okay. Play a king. Okay. I can play a king. I can tell this is my photograph because it doesn't say again. Watch. If we play the pair of jacks, it says again. It says again. That's how I know this is the photograph. Alright, we can play the jacks and the eights here. Let's go ahead and ship it. And there you go. Just like we drew it up. We got some vampire action, we got some minus action. The vampire didn't actually matter that much, or in the end it didn't matter that much. I think the vampire definitely helped a lot early on when we were playing flushes, before we were able to play the flush house, before we were able to find the photograph and Chad combo. But then in the end game here it didn't really matter, so maybe that's kind of a lesson about the flush house, is because it is so high scoring, just base level flush house, level 14 it isn't even that high. We didn't even get a blue seal. We didn't even, with the telescope, wasn't going to give us the series cards because our most played hand was flush and then became high card. So level 14 flush house, we were able to level up just from Overstock and the Planet Merchant. Already 660 times 66, so I don't know how much is that, right? 40,000 points, just base level 40,000 points, and then you could think about, okay, one glass card on top of that, or is that true? Wait, yeah, anyway, glass card or a steel card or some other kind of enhanced cards. If you have just the Chad or just the photograph or just the Chad, that's enough. Or just the vampire and none of this other stuff, that's enough. All of that's perfectly fine. So use your extra joker slots for value generators. Or we had, for a time there, we had the extra discard joker, and we said, okay, should I take the extra discard joker, or should I try to get the money from the mail-in rebate? Mail-in rebate, of course, very powerful, gives you like $10 per round. And we said, okay, if I just get the extra discard ensures that I find the hand, and then I don't lose as long as I find the hand. And I think had a lot to do with the Midas Mask gave us the gold cards for a little bit extra money so that we could re-roll for the tarot cards. We could re-roll for the tarot cards that could build the deck. Also, of course, the kind of absurd start that we had with the mail-in rebate into the Hermit cards. Of course, Hermit cards, that's another tarot card that you can get. This is another of the many reasons why I really love the Zodiac deck. Overstock, extra card, extra consumables. Maybe tarot cards. Maybe tarot cards for, if we look at the stats here. Hermit is the best because you just get the money and then you can re-roll into more different tarot cards. I think there are a lot of circumstances where I would take a Hung Man. I would take this instead of 20 bucks if it's that important to me. If it's that important to me being able to draw specific cards, being able to draw a specific hand. If I am playing, let's say, pairs, then I don't really care as much what's in my deck. I don't really care as much what's in my hand. Then you just take the money. But if you are trying to play flush houses, if you're trying to play straights, then the Hung Man is way more important and perhaps worth 20 bucks. You take 20 bucks, you reroll 3 times. If you don't find a Hung Man, then you're sad. Death is okay. Think about when you're using your consumable cards, think about what order you're using them in. If there's booster pack, celestial pack, and also arcana pack, think about what order you're opening the booster packs in. If there's 2 arcana packs, typically what I try to do is open the small one first and then open the bigger one second. So jumbo or mega pack I open second, and then that way I have more information. going into the bigger choice is kind of how I think about it. It's easier for me to synergize the second choice with the first choice if I open the smaller pack first. 17 win streak. This one got a little bit long here because we were playing with the Zodiac deck, we were playing with the extra tarot cards, we had a little bit more complicated decision making. Not that the run was particularly difficult, just that there's more decisions to make. If you're not playing pairs, you actually have to think about the deck building a little bit. So that's going to be it for this one. A little bit shorter episode today. We only did the one run, now 17 win streak. Take care, everyone.